This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and together we are your KTAR car guys. Heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers guaranteed to be right. And you can get a hold of us at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. And today I do have a fact or fiction, so we'll be talking about that. And open phones and text. And, October's Car Care Month.
It is.
Care for your baby, for your car. Put a little love into it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You might be thinking Car Care Month. Matt, you were talking about wrenches and grease and grime and all that stuff. But Car Care Month is maybe just putting a coat of wax on your car.
Well, I think every month is Car Care Month.
That's because you're a car care guy.
I don't know who came up with these Hallmark holidays for taking care of your car. Supposedly it's April and October. But, yes, it is Fall Car Care Month. And a little bit different here in Phoenix. It's not like back east in October. Everybody's getting cold, getting the car winterized and worried about the battery. We have our share of things. But like you said, Dave, it's taking care of your car is not all nuts and bolts and gasoline and grease. And some of taking care of your cars, a clean car is a happy car.
Oh, they run way better. That is proven on the dyno.
Right, 2 extra horsepower and much slicker going through. They get better gas mileage because the paint is so smooth with with the wax. But no, if you're proud of your car, I go on vacation, I get the car washed. I know it's going to get filthy, dirty, all the bugs and stuff all over the car.
I just feel better rolling out with a clean car.
Feel better with a car and. And if you've got to spend some money on maintenance and maybe you've done that timing belt and the car's got 120 or 30,000 miles on it. It's time to go ahead and look at the maintenance. Get a detail. We don't have a detail shop that we work or endorse with or anything like that.
But we do have a detail in the Bumper to Bumper group. H&I Automotive has a detail division.
Yeah, within their shop, if you're if that's convenient for out there in Mesa or Gilbert, where the new shop is. But the point being, it's going to make the car look better. It's going to last longer, and you're going to feel better about your car. And I think you'll be more inclined to then take better care of it mechanically too.
I noticed that about people that they come to my shop and they have a big repair they're facing, and they feel so negative about their car because they know they've avoided all the stuff. Every time they go to the shop, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just change the oil. Don't worry about it. They don't wash it. We get in the car, it's dirty, and I just feel like it's car ownership kind of malpractice.
Yeah, neglect.
And I don't scold people for doing that, but I just know they get so much more enjoyment out of the car. This is a huge expense. You want to take care of this car. You gotta. A car should be waxed twice a year. That's the way it should be. The other thing that's happening this time of year is going to come up is in November. You're probably going to jump in the car and drive to grandmother's house, for Thanksgiving or go somewhere for Christmas. And I tell you, the people that come to my shop in November and December, a day before they're going out of town for the holiday, are people that are stressed out.
Oh, boy. You want to – they've put everything off to the last minute. And, hey, I'm a last minute Larry. If it was not for the last minute, I would not have any time.
That's true.
But I still plan. I know that if I'm going to drive through the river, across the river and through the woods or whatever the heck it is, I want to make sure my car's going to make it. You don't want to be you don't want to be that guy. So as you're making your travel plans,
have a game plan.
Get the car in a couple months or a month ahead of time, and so if you are having to make a repair.
Well, and maybe this is just it. Maybe this is a time we talk all the time about taking your car to the shop and paying for a comprehensive vehicle inspection. And not the freebie that you get at the quickie, lubie, tire shop kind of place where they're just going to sell you an air filter and shocks and brakes. That's the stuff they work on. The low-lying fruit, I refer to it as. But someone's going to tell you everything about your car. Not because you can have them fix it all, just so you know what kind of shape it's in, what it's going to need. Because the worst kind of auto repair is reactive auto repair. The best kind of auto repair is proactive auto repair. Know what's going on with your car. At least you can plan it out. And if you are thinking about getting a new car, you can plan that out. Okay, here's the shape my car's in. I kind of got a budget for what it's going to take me to run it for another year, 2 years, 3 years.
We can predict a lot of stuff. And when we do that comprehensive vehicle inspection, again, this isn't a tool to sell you something. And that's kind of what that, people call it a cursory inspection. Well, look up cursory.
It means nothing.
Yeah, it's something of little value. So we're not checking it so we can sell you an air filter, although if you need one, we're going to tell you need one. But it's an overview of the whole car. It's that physical you get when you turn 50. You know what I mean? May not be so pleasant, but we're going to tell you all the stuff you want to know about. We can predict how long the brakes are going to last with some repair history. We know your average miles per year or per month now that you've got some established a pattern with the car. And Dave, I'm sure you do it the same way that we do it, is you're going to check the car. We're going to talk about things that are unsafe or might break down. Cause a breakdown. And this is the same, by the way, whether you're going on a trip or whether you're just around town, Tom. You're just cruising. Things that are going to break down or cost more money, leave you stranded. Things that are overdue because they're regular maintenance. And then catch-up maintenance. Then we can predict, okay, your brakes have 5 millimeters or 7 millimeters of life left.
So an oil change or two down the road, we want to take care of that.
Or we might see some control arm bushings that are starting to crack, and so we're going to put down that we need to monitor those. But I want to back up a little bit, Dave. You talked about the people that come in at the last minute are the ones that are stressed. So if you come in and you get this report maybe a couple months ahead of time, and maybe you don't get anything fixed that day, but you've got the information, now you can sit back, not be stressed out, and you're just chilling. And then you can make good decisions. I was talking with, we're hiring a new service advisor at the shop, and talking with her, and really it came that, I asked her, what are the things that make you happy at work? She says, getting to know my customers and having happy people, and having people that are not stressed out. And I told her, fixing cars is almost secondary sometimes. I mean, you get it all the time, Dave. People come in, they're broken down, they're freaking out. They don't have a plan. They don't know how they're going to pick up their kids. They don't know the process to get a rental car. They've never been to it. They don't have a regular shop. Everybody's out of their comfort zone. Man, it takes years off your life, I bet. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's what we interface with. So, you got all these stressful people that are anxious and stressed out, coming through the door. And it is nice when you have that long-term established relationship. Everybody in the scenario is comfortable. You kind of know back and forth. We know kind of your, what repairs are important to you, what things are not important to you, and it just makes for a better repair experience. So maybe that's Car Care Month is go get a comprehensive vehicle inspection. Okay, find out everything about your car. And maybe number 2 is right now if you're an orphan customer, in other words, you go here for this service because I got a coupon over there. You go over here for this service. I go, you're just going shop to shop to shop. You're what I consider an orphan customer. That's a stressful way and not a good way to service your car in a lot of cases because you get duplicate repairs, you get different repair philosophies, 10 different mechanics, 9 different answers, and 4 of them are going to do it right. So you want people that are on the same wavelength as you as far as taking care of your car, people that can educate you, answer questions, do a good job for you.
Well, and I think the consumer needs to be part of the process. Gosh darn it, ask me questions, interrogate me, challenge what I'm telling you.
Don't cross-examine me, ask questions.
But I'm not saying it, just don't roll over and get your wallet out, but at the same time, don't clam up and run away because someone told you need something. Talk about it. Go through the process, understand, take the opportunity to learn something. And if you can read people, you can tell when people are being straight with you too. Stories don't add up.
You can do that for sure. Stories don't add up. The other thing you can also get a feel for is just competence. Are they real confident in this repair? Because some people are, and some people they smile and they look nice and all that stuff, but they don't really know what they're doing. I mean, that comes up too.
It's true. It happens. But back to the topic at the beginning, Car Care Month. Let's look at going out and get that thing waxed. Think about now when you walk up to your car in the parking lot. I just backed up from the mic a little bit. You're coming up. Take that 20-foot look at your car. Do the headlights look all right? And for $500, okay. $500 is a lot of money. I'm not discounting the value and that what it takes to rip off 5 Ben Franklins out of the wallet or swipe the credit card. But a detail, couple paintless dent repairs, maybe a headlight polish or something like that, it makes a car and then you already got the rattle fixed and it runs good and the check engine light's off. Man, you've got like a new car. You're not reacting and fixing, like you say, Dave. Don't fix a $2,000 problem or even a $500 problem
with 40 grand, 50 grand,
$40,000 repair. And by the way, too, if you're going to go out of town, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I better get a new car. This little jalopy of mine. I never got out of town, but I want to go rent a car.
Yeah, you can rent a car.
You can go rent any car that you want to buy first in most cases and make sure you even like it before you take the plunge.
That's a good idea. I have jumped in cars. That's why I drive a Nissan Xterra. I jumped in. I just like the new Nissan products. Mm-hmm. I mean, for the way they feel and drive.
Right.
But anyway.
Well, there you have it.
So today you're driving around your car. Maybe there's a repair you think you need. You don't even know how to start to have a conversation with the shop because you don't even know what it is. Do I have a bad tire? Do I have a bad brakes? Do I have bad axles? We don't. We can maybe help. Point you in the direction. Maybe we can talk through that. Maybe you got a window that just never seems to work, or it works every other day, or door locks that keep breaking down.
Every 6 months you put in a window.
Or maybe you're driving around, all of a sudden your air conditioner quits working. But then 10 minutes later, it starts working again. You got some weird problem like that. The other thing that's going to happen, as soon as we get the first little break of cold, everybody's tire light's going to come on.
Oh, yeah.
That happens every year in the month of October. The tire lights all come on. Mine is on now, too. I could have a nail. I don't know. The last thing I do is take care of my car.
Right. The cobbler's kids.
I actually sometimes get the oil change somewhere else just because I know they'll get it done. If I go to my shop and say, hey, if we have time today, can you guys change the oil on my truck? At the end of the day, I go, you guys change the oil on my truck? We didn't have time.
Oh, yeah. I just go several thousand miles over. That's all. But
yes, he does. If it wasn't for the last minute, Matt wouldn't get anything done.
That's right. So 602-277-5827 is 602-277-KTAR. Lots of open lines. We've got Vinny and John patiently waiting. And if you like to text us, you can do that at 411-923. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys. We'll be right back.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road. And a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Your reputation is everything, is what our parents told us, and they were right. Hi, Leo Petrozello for Campus Auto Body Salon. Since 1973, we've been the go-to for collision repair for thousands of Valley car owners for good reason, and thankfully, our customers have rewarded us with raving reviews. Don't just take my word for it. Check us out on bumpertobumperradio.com, or for that matter, any of the major independent review sites like Yelp and CarWise.com, where we earn a 5-star rating, or the BBB, where we have an A+. At Campus Auto Body Salon, getting your vehicle back to pre-accident condition, both in appearance and structural integrity, is our top priority, not cutting corners for the insurance company. Get your repair done right. Arizona law allows you to choose your repair facility, so we invite you to check us out and see why our reviews are so strong. When you've had an accident, make your first call the right call to Campus Auto Body Salon. Check us out online at campusbodysalon.com.
Yeah.
Dave, should we don't want to tell the story, do we?
No.
Okay.
We'll hold that one. I love me some Smashing Pumpkins. Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are helping you with your car. And you can get a hold of us at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. If you're driving around, you're thinking, I got nothing going on. Yeah, you probably do. Think for a minute. What's going on with my car? Do I got a squeak? Do I got a rattle? Do I got a driver's seat that, when you get into it, the electric seat motor jams you into the steering wheel every now and then? I hate when that happens. Remember Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
You watch way more movies than I do.
I don't. Back then I did. But Steve Martin gets slammed into the dashboard of the car. because Del Griffith broke the seat. Or fantastic movie. How do they know where we're going? Yeah, how do they know? They've been drinking.
Wow, I just must have missed that. I don't know.
They play it every Thanksgiving. You can't miss it.
No,
so anyway, if you got something going with your car, give us a call at 602-277-5827. They're starting to roll in. We're going to go with Vinny in Globe. He's got a 2007 Dodge Dakota. How can we help you, Vinny? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Little background, 10 to 12 miles per gallon, 150,000 miles on the vehicle. Got a check engine light, indicated it was cam position sensor intermittent. Replaced it, and engine light went out. I have this condition, which I had before, where I can hear the transfer case changing on its own when I open the doors or at its own at random. So
what motor is in that? What motor is in your Dodge? Is that 4.7 liter?
Yes, it is.
I mean, the first thing I hear is 10 to 12 miles a gallon. That sounds awful, but I'm a little confused on the transfer case. Here, shifting, Dave, do you know?
I've never had that happen. Something else may be actuating, but it literally is the transfer case shifting?
Well, that's what I'm assuming it is, because it sounds just like when I've put my four-wheel drive on before in the past. Sounds like the same mechanism is being activated.
You know what happens when we assume, Vinny?
Oh yeah.
No, just give me a little.
You end up doing radio with Matt Allen, so never assume.
Right? But that's why I'm calling.
That transmission is a 45 RFE transmission that's in there, and that transmission makes noise. It's got a solenoid pack, and people hear them, they're like, what is that noise? And so that may be something that's going on. I don't know. I couldn't imagine that the transfer case would be doing something different. Maybe you can go drive it and experience something, because if the transfer case is doing different things, it's going to drive different, just cruising around in a parking lot.
Well, but I'm a little confused, Vinny. Is that a symptom, something you're hearing? But we still have the check engine light with the cam sensor issue or that circuitry, correct?
No, that's taken care of.
Oh, you solved that. Okay.
That's taken. I replaced the sensor, the cam position sensor. I replaced it, and the check engine light went away.
Okay.
But even before that condition showed up as a check engine light, I had that indication where I could hear that transfer case. I'm thinking it's a transfer case. And the reason I say the transfer case is because I know it goes into four-wheel drive on its own, because I can feel it when I'm turning. When I'm turning, I can, if I'm on blacktop, you can hear the wheels, all four wheels.
That's
the back wheels.
There's our symptom then. So, Vinny, Tri-City Transmission is, although it's away. I mean, Tempe and Mesa are a little ways away from Globe, but I think as you come into the valley from that part of town, it's probably about the best place you can come across to have somebody take a look at that. But I would think engaging into four-wheel drive automatically, that confirms your suspicion or something with that transfer case. That that could be bad news going down the road at 60 or 70 miles an hour, and it just.
A lot of people don't understand this, but in a car there's an engine control module or a powertrain control module that has a lot of information in it. Transfer case information generally isn't in there. So, you got check engine lights for the engine. There's also error messages for the transfer case. So when you go to the auto parts store, they're not actually getting into the transfer case brain.
Yeah, their tool can't open that other door. It's only got one key, not multiple keys, so to speak.
So yeah, there could be there's transfer case problems and there's transfer case control problems. Transfer case control problems tend to be the most common issues that are out there. So anyhow, bumpertobumperradio.com if you're looking for a good shop, Vinny. Thanks for the phone call, 602-277-5827. Let's go with John in Phoenix. He's got a 1990 Land Rover. How can we help you, John? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I got one. Got over 168,000 miles on the truck, and when I'm going, it's normally when I'm loaded, so going uphill, it stumbles above 3,000 RPM. And just looking to see if it looks like it's a fuel pump or is it something in the ignition system.
So just a stumbling on a grade or just on a flat level with the?
It'll do flat level, but I mean, really, the only time I get up above 3,000 RPM, that thing is going uphill. But if I'm going above 3,000 RPM, it starts to stumble at that point, and it's like losing power.
Right.
And I have to back it off and come back to like 2,500 RPM before it picks up again, so I can actually drive.
What if you just floorboarded it? What would happen?
It just stumbles. It keeps stumbling like that.
Keeps doing it.
Yep.
Well, with the information that we have, we could throw a ball of confetti in there and pick up a piece of paper with a note on it and guess that. I mean, and so really someone that's got some experience, and there's a certain seat of your pants feel, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this is not a sophisticated car. This is a 1990 Rover, so there's not a whole lot of computer aided things in there to go diagnose. I mean, a new car has onboard diagnostics too, which is 96 and newer, and that older Land Rover is not going to be as sensitive to failures. It's not going to put on an engine code for misfire. So this is one where we might be able to go get some codes out of it and get us in the right direction, whether or not the check engine light is on or not. We need to look at some of the data, and this is one of the ones where it's like we used to call putting it on the scope. We've got to go
put it on the
through
scope. And he asked about fuel pressure, and I'm never one for throwing a fuel pump at anything.
No.
I'm always fuel pressure is so easily checked in most situations.
Yeah.
There's generally a Schrader valve. You need a fuel pressure gauge to be able to check that. But I mean, rather than just throwing parts at it, there are steps we can take to say, you know what, the fuel pump looks great. You can even electrically test and scope out a fuel pump to see if it's weak.
Well, you
look
could
at the RPM
test the
on
windings, the electrical portion, but you've got the pumping portion. But it could have the right pressure. But guess what? When you want more fuel, it falls on its face because it doesn't have the volume. Maybe the filter's plugged up. Maybe there's nothing wrong with it at all. Maybe the throttle position sensor. The computer wants to see how far your foot's on the gas, and there's a rheostat in there. If there's a glitch in a certain spot, it's not going to like that. You could have a ignition coil or a coil wire breaking down. You could have injectors with too high of resistance that are drawing too much on the computer, making it limp mode or making it not want to fire in the injector. So many things. Classic car needs to be diagnosed.
Remember the old days, just pull it in the bay, put it in gear, power brake it, spray some water over the wires just to see them break down.
Right.
So, yeah, seat of the pants feel. Sure appreciate the call, 602-277-5827. When we come back, we're taking more phone calls, and of course, your text at 411-923. You're listening to Matt and Davey, or KTAR Car Guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Honesty and integrity. It's the only option. Hi, Spencer Doucet for H&I Automotive. H is for honesty, and I is for integrity. We built our business on these two principles. We opened our first shop in Mesa in 2009, and with the support from our loyal customers, we've now grown to a second, state-of-the-art location in Gilbert. 2 locations, same principles. Quality service at a great value, backed by an industry-leading 60-month, 60,000-mile parts and labor warranty. Check us out at HandIAutomotive.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
Life's good news often comes with a little bad news, right? Hi, Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission and co-host of Bumper to Bumper Radio. Car repair seems to follow that same trend. The good news, transmissions are lasting twice as long as they used to. The bad news, they can cost as much as $1,000 more than you might remember. So if you're going to have to spend some money on a new transmission, you want to be sure you really need it. And if you do, that it's done right at a fair price. For over 45 years, Tri-City Transmission has built a reputation for having the experience and expertise to properly diagnose and repair your transmission without costly overhaul or replacement. If we do have to recommend a major transmission repair, you can be assured you're getting an honest recommendation and a job done right at a fair price. I guarantee it. Check us out online at TriCityTransmission.com. That's TriCityTransmission.com. TriCityTransmission.com.
Arizona's news station. KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic now.
Good morning. KTAR News time is 11:30. I'm Nailea Leon. Thousands of protesters are outside of Capitol Hill. Capitol Police are making arrests ahead of the vote to confirm Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. This comes after the full Senate voted 51 to 49 to end the debate and advance his nomination yesterday.
Outside the U.S. Capitol, undeterred by what seems like a foregone conclusion, protesters against the ascension of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. But inside that building, in 1 hour, a vote which is sure to go to Kavanaugh and go the president's way. Republican Lindsey Graham calling Kavanaugh a good man.
I would have picked Kavanaugh. So I just appreciate the president sticking with him, because any of us can be accused of almost anything.
Democrats expressing frustration. Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy says it's not a normal confirmation process.
This vote will decide whether the United States Senate, which at its best can serve as the conscience of the nation, causes the Supreme Court to be indelibly tainted in the eyes of millions of Americans, perhaps more than half the country.
As for those protesters, dozens wearing shirts reading "November is coming." Dave Packer, ABC News.
Now let's get a check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
We got a crash blocking the shoulder, 10 eastbound at 91st Avenue, and a wreck on the 17 Frontage Road northbound right there at Dunlap to watch out for, and that vehicle fire 10 westbound at Sky Harbor Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Napa. Napa Auto Parts has the expertise and parts you need to help keep your car on the road no matter how many miles it has. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
KTAR weather for the valley right now, mostly clear skies with the cool temperatures this morning at 68 degrees. It's 78 degrees in Gilbert. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Nailea Leon on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older who are residents of the state of Arizona unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Full general contest rules are available in person at the station or at KTAR.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Home run king Henry Aaron says it took him 17 years to get 3,000 hits in baseball and only one afternoon on the golf course. Golf has its ups and downs, and we cover them all. Around the world and right here in the Valley, the Bunker to Bunker Golf Show takes you inside the game. So join me, Greg Ellis, along with Marty Monahan and Jim Hill, Saturday mornings from 7 to 9 on Arizona Sports 98.7.
Bunker to Bunker. Golf lives here.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at AccurateAutomotiveAZ.com today.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
All righty, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen, along with Dave Riccio, and we are your KTAR car guys every single Saturday on Bumper to Bumper Radio. And for those of you that are regular listeners, you know what the show is all about. Dave and I talking about cars, and we're here to help you have a better repair experience with your car, have a better overall ownership experience, answer questions that may be causing you stress, whether you need a repair or don't need a repair, anything that we can help you with. That's what we're here to do, anything related to the car. I don't care if it's body work or you got a scratch or you want to have a question about window tinting or whatever. If we don't know the answer, we'll get you to the people that do. We can certainly make that a referral. And Bumper to Bumper Radio, besides this show that's an hour every Saturday, there's also a website. That website has some information on it, the podcast of all the shows, a link to our Facebook page if you want to like us. We enjoy having some new friends there. But there's also a list of, I'm going to call them family-owned mom-and-pop shops, right, Dave? I mean, they're shops like mine, like yours, and they're spread throughout the valley. And these are people that we have aligned with that we trust. We know they're going to do a good job. I mean, you hear everybody say, oh, fixed right the first time and on time guaranteed. Yeah, whatever. Things happen. But when things happen, you want to be at a shop that knows how to eat crow, that knows how to embarrass, and just knows how to take care of customers. And a couple of those shops we talked about, we have them all over the valley. But in North Phoenix, there goes my phone. In North Phoenix, we have one of those mini shops is Kurt's Auto Repair. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Can't miss that tagline.
That's right.
And that's a .com, by the way. And over there by 22nd Avenue in Bell Road. And then over in the East Valley, kind of in your neighborhood, Dave, we've got Good Works Auto Repair. Great little shop, but they also do, their specialty is hybrid cars. So if you're driving one of those things with more than one battery, that might be a shop to take a look at.
Now, you say mom and pop. In mom and pop, just family-owned and operated kind of feel to it. But it's not mom and pop like they're behind the times.
Right.
Any of these shops are dealership alternatives. You know, it's like, you know, I'm working on a car right now. It's a 2017 Dodge truck. Transmission's out of it. It's got 125,000 miles on it.
Wow.
We have all the tools we need to diagnose that car, program the car when we do the transmission on it, all that stuff. And we consider ourselves a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, mom and pop. You know what? My friend Dave Martin, he's listening because I know he called me on purpose to check and see if my ringer is on.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't figure it out.
Dude, he
goes, he just sent me a text. I got you, LOL. All right, Dave. You're on my list. So I have to figure out how to turn the volume off on this darn phone. But anyway, Bumper to Bumper Radio. If you're looking for a shop, if you have a great shop, send us a message and tell us who they are. If you don't have, and by the way, stay there. Don't change because the guys on the radio said go to one of those shops. If you're looking for a shop, don't be an orphan customer. Go to Bumper Radio and find one.
We got DJ, we got Josh, we got Patrick. We actually have two Patricks, one in Scottsdale, one in Paradise Valley, and then we have Dan. We're going to go with Dan in Phoenix. He's got a 2006 Mazda 3. How can we help you, Dan? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan, are you there? All right, let's put Dan on hold, and let's go with Patrick, Paradise Valley, on line 4. Hey, Patrick, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you on your 99 Chevy Tahoe?
Hey, guys, you hear me?
You bet.
Cool. Yeah, so it's a 99 Tahoe. It's got about 157,000 miles, and lately it's been pretty well maintained. But lately I'm getting kind of I wouldn't call it a vibration, kind of a buzz in the steering wheel whenever I turn right at low speeds, and I'm wondering if maybe my power steering is about to maybe go out on me.
At low speeds, and what does it do again? I'm sorry.
It's kind of a buzz, kind of a small vibration in the steering wheel I can feel whenever I turn right at low speeds.
Right. Now, does that have a Hydro Boost unit, or does that have a vacuum assist brakes? Do you know?
I wouldn't know.
It's probably vacuum. There's some of those, even though it's not a diesel or anything, there's some of those that had the Hydro Boost, I believe. You know, I'd be looking for something maybe rubbing on the steering column, or even the steering shaft underneath under the hood. Just that a little bit of vibration going to one direction. I know some of those in that vintage had steering shafts we used to replace a lot. But that was more for a clunking noise. Dave?
One of the things I do, Patrick, if I'm looking for a steering noise, I'm just going to dry steer that car. So I'm not going to drive. I'm just going to dry steer it. And, just back and forth to really help diagnose it. And honestly, with the hood up, you see a power steering line that didn't get bolted down from the last repair, and that power steering line is making some weird vibration. Yeah. So it may not, be the serious power steering repair, but someone's going to need to, be under the hood where the steering is in motion to really see what's going on.
When you say dry steering,
and I've checked. There's been like no drops of liquid anywhere. There's no leaks or anything. It just kind of came on.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking. That's what I mean by dry steering is I'm steering the car without movement. So I'm stopped in a parking space.
But the engine's running.
Engine is running. I'm steering it back and forth. And I got somebody. It's a two-person job when you're looking for power steering noises. There's somebody underneath the hood looking, and there's someone in the car steering back and forth. And steering noises are fun. They're tough, but they're fun.
Yeah, because so many different things. I mean, but at least he's feeling it through the column. I mean, could be a bearing or one of the bushings in the column. And the other thing with the steering. Anytime you have two people working on the car, you communicate. Don't be having your fingers in somebody else. I get nervous. Get the keys out of the ignition. I want them in my pocket if there's somebody sitting in the car. Make sure you're using safety stands if you're working on the car yourself. And that power steering, you got your finger in the wrong spot and someone turns the wheel. And it gets mashed.
Yo!
Yeah. Yeah. So just be cautious, any of you who are the do-it-yourselfers and trying this stuff on your own.
Thanks for the call, Patrick. 602-277-5827. I'm going to go with a text here. This person has a 2010 Nissan Xterra. They have to add coolant more often than they think. And so they smell antifreeze through the AC vents. It almost has a metallic sense. What could this be, Matt? I know you got a good guess on this.
Yeah, it's probably a heater core.
Heater core going bad.
You're getting that smell, maybe some stuff on the dash. Whenever the heater core's bad, you get this
film on the window.
And then the other thing you'll look at, be careful on the Xterras, they have a plastic heater core fitting that sticks through the firewall. Man, we don't even want to change the heater hoses on these cars because you touch them and this plastic deteriorates and the thing just breaks, and then you're pulling the dash apart. And the replacement one is all aluminum. I suspect that's something that's leaking. All those symptoms add right up to that.
For sure. Well, let's go ahead and try Dan again in Phoenix. He's got a 2006 Mazda 3. Go ahead, Dan. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys.
Good morning.
How can we help you?
Well, my 2006 Mazda 3, the fuel pump went out in it back in January, and I replaced it successfully, and it's run great. But now when I turn the key, I get nothing. I don't hear it run, and the voltage that I'm reading at the pump, which is under the seat, I'm reading about 8.3 volts, and I'm wondering if that's lower than battery voltage, and I'm wondering if that's why the pump went out prematurely.
Yeah, there's got to be a fuel pump relay in there, and if that relay is going, I could see low voltage getting to pump. I mean, some stuff like that, but I'd be testing out that circuit to see, because I don't think pumps are running at 8 volts. But it could be a modulated.
It might be a modulated pump. So that's what I say. When we say modulated, we mean a duty cycle. Most pumps, they just get turned on. They're running full blast. All the power they can produce. They're sending more fuel to the engine than the engine can possibly use, and then there's a regulator there and a return line that returns that line back to the tank. What we're seeing more and more and more, and it very well could be in the 06 Mazda. I'm not saying it does or doesn't because I just can't remember that one off the top of my head. But the fuel systems in many cases now are just one line. There's a pressure line, there's no return line, and they regulate the fuel pressure by modulating power to the fuel pump. So it very well may only want 8 volts at idle. I kind of doubt it, but you need to understand the system before we're testing for power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
for sure. So see if you can get some sort of explanation of how that system works. Once you understand the concept of how the system works, then you can diagnose it. But until you understand that, you're really shooting in the dark.
And then the resources for people who are fixing some cars on their own, all data That's a company that many shops use and subscribe to their services. It's several $100s a month to have complete access. But as a homeowner, or you don't have to be a homeowner, but as a consumer, you can sometimes think $30 or something like that get access to that for a period of time. And you really have to understand the theory and operation of the system, to go in and then start diagnosing it.
It's time for Fact or Fiction.
All right. Being that it's Car Care Month and we're really going to take care of our baby out there, and I'm thinking I just want to put nicer gas in it this month because it is Car Care Month. Why not put a little nicer gas in there? I normally get the 87 because it's cheap and I'm cheap, but I throw a little extra Levitt's way, so I'm going to put some high octane in my car. Is that a good idea? I say it's a good idea. Is that fact or fiction?
I don't know. Was it a fact in your reality?
I don't know.
Is it your truth, Dave?
It's never really my truth.
Well, my truth. No, that is a big old fat F for fiction.
F for fiction.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. So you're not doing good to your car to put in nicer fuel.
No, the car doesn't know. It's got no taste buds. The car will become less efficient. It doesn't burn at the proper rate. The engine is designed for a certain type of fuel. If you're putting a high octane fuel in your car because it pings,
there's something else going on.
Yeah, there's something. You're masking a problem by putting in the higher octane fuel. So you've got to go cure the problem instead of correcting the symptom with a better gasoline. Most all the gasolines now are a top tier fuel. So that's going to have the carbon cleaning properties and additives and detergents in there. So you don't need to worry about that too much. But no, stick with whatever the sticker on the gas door says. If it says high octane fuel, put it in there. That's what it's designed to run on. And the gasoline prices are going up. We're slightly higher this time of year than we were last year. So,
for sure. Well, we've got DJ, we've got Josh, we've got Patrick, number 2 from Scottsdale, and we got Ruth Ann from Goodyear. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
Think you need a new transmission? Just because you have a friend who says he knows something about cars thinks you need a new transmission? Doesn't mean he's right. Here's a tip. Get a new friend. Hi, Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair and co-host of Bumper to Bumper Radio. 7 out of 10 customers who come to Tri-City Transmission saying they need a new transmission actually don't, meaning we can potentially save you a lot of anxiety and perhaps a lot of dough. Google us at TriCityTransmission.com. That's TriCityTransmission.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
Hi, Kevin Rowe from I-17 Collision in Phoenix. If the bad news is you've had an accident, the good news is that with one easy click on bumpertobumperradio.com, you have the best collision, body, and paint shops to help you get back on the road quickly, safely, and with a repair you can trust.
Dave Lindgren here from First Class Auto Body in Scottsdale. Don't be fooled. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shops for your repairs. Not true. Arizona law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you.
And I'm Leo Petrozello from Campus Body Salon in Tempe. Having an accident is stressful enough. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Appearance is important, but it's critical that structural integrity and safety are top priority.
3 convenient locations and one united team. With almost 120 years of experience and expertise between us, we are solely focused on taking care of you while working with your insurance company. The Collision Team at bumpertobumperradio.com.
We are jamming here today on Bumper to Bumper Radio. We're so excited it's only going to be 86 degrees. That is fantastic. The things you get excited about in Arizona, they don't get excited about in San Diego.
You know what? We're getting older, too. We start worrying about the weather and the humidity.
Oh, yeah. You wake up and you take inventory on your aches and pains for the day.
We're becoming our parents, Dave.
Yes, we are. Quickly. A couple texts here. Mr. Mel Stuber, his mechanic closed his shop. He's got a 1997 BMW 328i with 250,000 miles on it. Barely broken in, Mel. He's looking for a shop to do a comprehensive vehicle evaluation. He doesn't know where to go. I'm not sure what part of town you are in, Mel, but BMW shop, Matt's shop does a lot of, they work on everything, but you guys have an awful lot of BMWs in your parking lot. So Virginia Auto Service, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. That's certainly a good place to go looking for a good shop.
I want to give him, I'm reading this text message too, he's looking for a new top and a lining. Mm-hmm. We don't have an interior or an upholstery shop, but I have referred several people over to a place called the Top Shop. It's over off Indian School around the canal. I think that's about 24th Street in that area. As a matter of fact, sent the gentleman over with a 318 BMW convertible a couple of years ago. Very good job. So if you're looking for that, Mel, it wasn't Mel, but if you're listening it is Mel. Okay. Yeah, Mel. Try the Top Shop for that interior repair, the roof or the convertible top repair.
I got another one here. 06 Chevy, 247,000 miles. The engine kind of stumbles, sounds like, but if the AC's off, there's no problem. And I just kind of think of vehicles when the engine's not quite idling right. When you add the extra load of the air condition, it wasn't idling right before, it's really not idling right now. So that's going to be idle work that needs to happen to get that idle done right. A lot of times idle air control motor, throttle body, things like that need cleaning. But someone's going to have to diagnose that for you. If you're looking for a good shop, bumpertobumperradio.com. And let's go with DJ in Phoenix. He has a 2004 Tahoe XL. How can we help you, DJ? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, good afternoon. The problem I'm having, my truck has about 115,000 miles. The air condition on the driver's side works. It works in the rear of the vehicle, but on the passenger side, it kicks out heat.
And not just warm air, but actually heated air, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Feels like the heat's on 90 when the air is on 60.
Well, the good news is I think that's a pretty darn simple repair. Mm-hmm. What there is happening underneath the dash on that car and many other cars, whether it's done mechanically, and I'm assuming on this Yukon XL, it's got the digital controls, if you will. So you're going to dial in that temperature, maybe 72 degrees, or I just leave mine at 60, but some people dial it into 72. And so what's happening there's just a door. It's called a blend door. It's going to take some cold air and mix it with some warm air, and that's how you're going to get your temperature that you're looking for. So probably what's happened is one of those control motors, one of the motors that moves a door down there or a flap, has stopped working. And so instead of diverting the air over the air conditioning evaporator, it's pushing it right over the heater core, so that's where you're getting the hot air. Should not be a big deal for whoever has been, if you're getting your vehicle maintained by a real shop, not a lube shop or an oil change shop, they ought to be able to take care of that for you, no big deal. But if you don't have anybody, you might find someone at bumpertobumperradio.com. Pretty simple repair.
The modern car, though, with the his and hers air conditioner and all that stuff, they have a lot of motors in the dash. There's like six motors sometimes running these blend doors and motor doors and all that stuff. Let's go with Josh in Phoenix with a 1996 GMC Sierra. How can we help you, Josh? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Fantastic.
So, 96 Sierra 1500. Got the 5.7 in it, about 150,000 miles. The truck sat it for about 8 months, give or take. Now when you're driving, when you're just getting going, everything's fine, everything's working okay. When the truck warms up, there's like a little buzzing noise coming from the transmission. If you shut the engine off and start it up again, it's perfectly fine, but, in a mile or two, it comes back.
Well, I'm starting to think that, buzzing noise from a transmission a lot of times means that the pump is cavitating. So if we got a transmission filter that's starting to be restricted, you'll get the buzzing noise. After the vehicle sits and the engine's off, all that debris that's on the bottom of that filter settles back down to the bottom of the pan. You run it for some more time, it starts to plug the filter off again. So it sounds like you could have something like that going on for sure. That's just at this point that's a guess. I'm not looking at it, but
when I think of cavitation, I think air, Dave. So you could have simply just be a restricted filter. You're just sucking a vacuum on the
pulling
on the
a
filter,
vacuum
but
on
it
the
could
filter.
also be potentially sucking some air. Would you see bubbles on a dipstick maybe if there was?
if it was going to suck air, it would do it when it was cold.
Right.
But he's saying it happens when it's hot. Okay. So I tend to think it's not a fluid level issue, but more so we got a restricted filter in there.
Makes sense.
And a lot of shops. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That is a fairly new filter. It was changed before it was sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Another symptom is the truck will hesitate, sputter, die, and then if you modulate the gas a little bit, it'll come back, and then it just goes away. It just comes and goes. And both symptoms are when it's after it's warmed up.
Well, I know you said the filter was changed, but it doesn't mean it was changed right. I see a lot of people change filters wrong. I mean, we rebuild transmissions where the filters were changed wrong, where they don't take the O-ring out of the pump or the seal out of the pump, and they put the new seal on the new filter and they jam it up in there. Stuff like that happens, and people. Someone tells me, "Oh, there's a new filter in there." Well, that's the first thing I'm going to go check out.
Yeah, that just means we have more work to do.
I literally have installed defective filters before, and I didn't know it until I had a problem. I took it apart, and the filter was defective. So that all plays into the story for sure. So I wouldn't rule it out.
We are all too familiar with just because the part's new doesn't mean it's good. It happens to us too, unfortunately.
Okay, we're going to sneak in Patrick in Scottsdale. Ruth Ann, sorry, we're not going to get your call until after the show. We'll definitely take it after the show. So let's go, Patrick. He's got a 2008 Lexus 460. How can we help you? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I was pulling out of a parking spot, and my foot slipped off the brake and hit the accelerator, and so I rear-ended the car in front of me. No exterior damage to either car, but there's a noise it sounds like it's under the engine or under the seats in the front. I've taken it to a body shop and they couldn't figure it out. I took it to my mechanic twice and we rode in the car together and they couldn't identify anything. I took it to the dealer and they thought, maybe it's the motor mount, so they put those in. But nothing has resolved the problem. So I'm looking for a shop to take it to where they have good ears and they can analyze what the problem might be.
Patrick, what part of Scottsdale are you in?
Indian School and Hayden.
Perfect. So, now the other shop, did they ever hear the noise or they just couldn't identify what it was, but they did hear it?
They couldn't hear it.
Okay. Well, noises are difficult. We always want to go for a ride with you. I don't like the idea of, I think it's the motor mounts. Now, if the motor mounts were in fact bad, that's one thing. If they said, we know they're bad, we just don't know if that's your problem. But the one guy that's good at finding noises is this gentleman. Well, let me rephrase that. He's not a gentleman. This guy standing next to me, Dave Riccio. Tri-City Transmission is amazing at just finding weird noises, vibrations and stuff like that. You'll find them on Bumper to Bumper Radio, and they're not far from you. They're just right down the road by the Tempe Marketplace. So give them a shot. Tri-City Transmission. Give them a shot. They're going to want to go for a ride with you and maybe depart yourself from the car for a day or two, and they'll figure it out.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure not to text and drive from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio. Have a great weekend.